I want to welcome you all to the fourth month of the year, 2026. Um, we thank God for keeping us to this moment. It's been His mercy and grace that has sustained us till now. In this year, we have considered amazing topics, and we started the year with mountains of influence, where we talked about the fact that we as young people we need to occupy space and get influential so that we can live a meaningful life. And then last month we talked about seed time and harvest, where we made us understand that one at every point in life is either sowing or harvesting, and we have to be careful exactly how we are living our life, because this is the law of life according to Genesis 8 verse 22, where the Bible says that as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest will not cease. So if you have not seen those videos, if you have not, you know, heard those ones, or probably you're joining us for the first time, you can check them out by searching for the topic on our YouTube channel, this particular YouTube channel, Bolade Adeyemi. And then if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you can go ahead and do that. If you are right here on this live program, you can say hi on the chat and just type your name and where you're watching from. I would love to know exactly where we are watching from. So it's good to have every one of us right here on the live stream. So, without any further ado, this month we'll be considering another amazing topic titled The Digestive System Model of Life. The Digestive System Model of Life. And we'll be exposing ourselves to a model that explains to us what life is expected to look like as young people. The same way you don't have to tell your digestive system what to do. Once you're able to ingest, once you're able to take something in, it takes over from there. The same way, this is how life is supposed to play out. This is how we're supposed to make sure life plays out. And this will help us become not just great people as we want to be, but also people of quality, in life and destiny. Trust me, you don't want to get distracted, and you want to really concentrate. I really want to welcome us all, and I want us to follow through so that we can all move together as we go on today. All right, it's good to have every one of us on a call on this live stream. So, here we are. The first thing we're going to be talking about today is what is digestion? What is digestion? Back to secondary school days, of course, we all know what digestion is, normally, um, and then that's what we just want to quickly define. We're doing all these definitions so that we can all be on the same page. Back to secondary school definition, digestion involves breaking down food into nutrients through six key processes. Six key processes. So digestion, has a process, and some of the processes we have here, we have ingestion, we have propulsion, we have mechanical digestion, we have chemical digestion, we have absorption, and we have defecation. Would have some little insight on what all this means while we're talking, in the course of the program. Then, talking about proportion, talking about the proportion, uh, it involves food moving from the mouth That's movement of food from the mouth. So the first one is ingestion, that's taking in the food to the mouth. Propulsion, movement of food to the mouth, from the mouth through the gastrointestinal tract, using peristalsis, mixing with enzymes, and this helps to speed up the rate of digestion. And we have acid to absorb nutrients into the small intestine and eliminate waste. And then organs normally that are involved in digestion, that makes up the digestive system, is mouth, the esophagus, the uh, the stomach, and then the small intestine, the large intestine, and so many of them like that. Of course, this is not a biology class. That's why I will not be trying to mention every single thing, but just to put us on the same, you know, just refresh our memory on what digestion is all about. And I believe we are on the same page right now. So, just like I said earlier, if you're new to the call and you're just new to this live stream, you want to, you're here with us for the first time, you can make sure you subscribe and make sure you also hit the notification bell so that once we release uh, programs, flyers, updates, you're going to be getting notification. And you can also share because we just started. So in case somebody wants to join, wants to join us during the course of this particular program. All right. So we want to check what we mean by the digestive, you know, what do we mean by the digestive system model? What do we now mean? Having remember, brush through what digestion means, let's see what we mean by digestive system model. The digestive system model of life suggests that knowledge and information must pass through the processes of digestion. Remember the process from ingestion to defecation. Let's take for example, if a man keeps eating and does not defecate for a week, that's not a complete process. So it means that this suggests that there is something wrong with the person. And the same way in life, after extracting what will benefit you, you know, after you extract what will benefit you, it's supposed to release some, to the is supposed to release some back. Okay, so and then so that they can others can benefit too. So uh, that is actually what we mean. Normally, when you eat, you tend to put out some which will go back to the earth to be beneficial to everyone. So the same way, once we take in knowledge, we're supposed to circulate it and give back to others so that others can also benefit. We're going to expatiate more on that so that we can all flow at the same pace in the course of the program. So no matter how blessed you are in life, until you are a source of blessing to another person, you have not lived a good life. So that is the like the summation of everything we are going to be talking about. And I want us to concentrate. Don't get distracted. You would definitely get it and you'll be blessed in the course of the program in this month. So, right now, we want to consider the different diverse digestive system module processes, that then we use it to explain the points that we have, and then we'll be done. So, uh, we have not we have not given us your name and your location Please, you can do that on the chat box right now. Okay, so let's move ahead. Now we're talking about the digestive system model. So the first one we have, just like we said in the normal digestive system process, ingestion. What does ingestion mean? In normal biology, ingestion is a process that describes that food is being taken into the mouth, right? That is ingestion. So you take in food. So injection in life can be likened, to being exposed to information or body of knowledge. Food, now we replace food with information or body of knowledge. So as young people, one of the things that are essential in life is knowledge. So you need to ingest knowledge, you need to take in knowledge, learn a skill, do a business, learn about a business and do it. Go to school, that's a proper body of knowledge to actually educate us. So as young people, one of the things, proper digestive system model of life is to take in knowledge. Don't don't live a life that has not learned anything. What have you learned today? What have you learned today? What have you learned today? Ingest knowledge in life. It is very important to open yourself up to information that can change your life. Read books, watch documentaries, watch some educative movies. Of course, watch movies, probably you can learn one or two there. So, as a young person, you cannot afford to be naive or ignorant in life. Cannot afford to be naive or ignorant in life. As a matter of fact, even in the court of law, ignorance is not an excuse. And then the Bible says in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So the same way, if you refuse to eat, it is just a matter of time, you would soon die. Like if somebody did not eat literally for maybe day one, day two, day three, like that, the person will soon start becoming lifeless. So the same way, if you refuse to ingest knowledge, refuse to get information, then you soon cease to exist. You soon cease to exist because you're not going to, because you're not eating, because you're not ingesting knowledge. So therefore, we're supposed to seek seek knowledge. Seek knowledge. Make sure you seek knowledge and pursue it. Seek and pursue knowledge. There must be something you want to know about. There must be something that interests you. Seek knowledge. All right. So that is our first point in ingestion. Okay, if you have followed us to this point and you're just joining us, if you are just joining us, I'm welcoming you again. This is Kingdom Mental Shift, and we are going through the digestive system model of life. And we've talked about what digestion is, talked about what meant by the digestive system model, and then we started, talking about the processes. And this is the first one that we just talked about, ingestion. All right. And then if you have not also subscribed to our channel, please do so that you can get notified when we are online again. Also turn on your notification bell. That's one of the things that will get you notified. Subscription alone is not enough. You need to be notified. All right. Going back to our second point, we've talked about ingestion. The second point we have here is propulsion. Propulsion, from the word propel, from the word move. This is the movement of food, through the esophagus, stomach, and intestine. That's propulsion. So it's directing food. Through the knowledge of proportion, that is movement, we can decide to push the food in or out. You can decide when food gets into your mouth, you can decide to push it out if you feel that you don't like it, or they are not good, or the food is not good for you. So can decide to push it in or out. So this is another very important process of digestion. So the same way in life, not all knowledge is edible. It's not everything you hear that is beneficial. It's not everything you hear that is okay. You can still throw them out. You can still throw them out. As a young person, you cannot take in every information you see. You need to filter it. That is what proportion teaches us. Proportion teaches us that whenever you get an information, remember information is food in this subject. So whenever you get information or knowledge, you are supposed to filter it. Not everything you see on social media is for you. We need to learn how to be selective in the proportion of knowledge in life. We need to know how to be selective. It is not everything that, you know, it's not everything that you see that is for you. You know, one very serious thing about social media is everyone is talking. Social media is a space where everyone is saying something. A lot of people will give you advice, solicited little, unsolicited much. So many advices, and if you accept all you hear or see on social media, you will be in for a very chaotic life. You'd be in for a chaotic life. Please learn to filter knowledge. Learn to filter knowledge because it's not everything that is beneficial. You do not need every knowledge that is available. For instance, imagine a student in a school, who registers for, let's say, computer engineering, and went ahead to attend every lecture available. He sees people doing accounting, he joins them. He sees people doing business administration, he joins them. He sees, he just keeps learning, going from classes to classes. If he's not careful, he's going to miss his core courses. If he's not careful, he's not going to be there when they are writing tests. He's not going to be there when his classmates are writing what they're supposed to write. So you can imagine if the computer engineering student ought to know that it's not all lecture that is for him. The same way you ought to know in life that it's not all information and knowledge that you see that is for you. You need to be selective. You need to be able to filter what you listen to, what you hear. You need to be able to filter. So it is important to filter knowledge and information. That is what proportion teaches us. This is the second process of digestion. We've talked about injection, we've talked about propulsion. So I believe we understand. If you are following me, if you have been following me, please you can type on the comment section, I'm following, I'm following. If you're getting me, say I get you, I get you, I get you, just so that I can know that we are following through. All right. So that is the second, model, second process. All right. Without wasting our time, we'll move to the third process of a digestive system model, which is mechanical or chemical digestion. Mechanical or chemical digestion. So talking about mechanical digestion, this talks about the physical breakdown, of food, including chewing with your mouth. That's mechanical, right? You the one doing it yourself. And then chemical is when some enzymes are, introduced to your food. For example, when the food is in the mouth, while you are breaking it down, the saliva is also introducing some enzymes to the food, even right there in the mouth. So that is chemical digestion. So, this then outside the mouth, There are also some chemical digestion in the stomach, in the pancreas, and in the small intestine, and some other organs in your body like that. So, from that knowledge, we know that mechanical or chemical digestion suggests that not all information are edible at the first contact. You need to first break it down. You cannot just carry anything and just bounce into your mouth without. It's like eating chin chin without chewing it. Like imagine yourself eating chin chin and you did not chew it. It's hard. So some information are hard, just like chin chin. It's hard. It needs to be broken down. That is what this mechanical and chemical digestion suggests. So from this lesson, we have to understand that sometimes to have a better understanding of an information, to have a better understanding of an information or a knowledge, you need to first break it down. Sometimes, you need to just relax. You need to mechanically break them down yourself. Not all information comes clear at first. Sometimes you need to just retrospect and really look at it critically. So the question is, how can you break down knowledge or information that looks ambiguous, right? Because you are not getting it at first. How can you break it down? This is a process of digestion. It's not everything you understand immediately. Sometimes you just have to take your time. Sometimes there are some information that you listen to that you have to listen to again. You have to listen to them again and again and again before you actually understand what the information is about. So how do you break down knowledge and information? Knowledge and information can be better understood through more keen observation and meditation. Like you need to pay rapt attention to information sometimes. This is how to get the best out of information. Not all information are straightforward, you know, and because we are just, some of us, we are very lazy, and we when once a concept is hard and ambiguous, we just run away, right? We just run away. We don't even want to hear what what the next statement is. But the truth is, not every concept that comes clear at the first glance. So you need to learn to observe sometimes. You need to learn to observing, meditate, even when you want to read your Bible, when you are getting information from the Bible. Most of the informations that you want to get from the Word of God is not surface value. It's not just black and white like that. Sometimes you need to meditate, and that's why even the Bible encourages us to meditate. Do you see that? So meditation, observation, paying attention to every line, every letter. This is also a part of digestion. This is a part of life. So the concept is ambiguous does not mean it won't benefit you. Something is ambiguous does not mean that, oh, this is not for me. This is for the learned people, or this is for the smart people. Whether ambiguous something is, you can still understand. At least you can have some understanding. So many of us only run towards things that we perceive, easy to get, and we run away from anything too technical, right? So sometimes you just need to embrace the technicality of life. You need to try to make sense out of seemingly senseless information. The information looks so ambiguous and you're not just getting what's going on. Sometimes you just have to try to make sense out of ambiguous, information. Do you think your body finds it easy to digest meat? Let's take, for example, meat. Imagine you just carry a piece and just swallow it. Your body will not find it funny. So you need to what? Break the meat down first. Just like I made example of chin chin the other time, now I make example of meat. We Most people like meat or fish. You can't just carry a fish and just swallow it. You need to break it down. So this is exactly what it looks like. So you don't mind to break meat down. So why can't you break information down? Why can't you calm down to really get what is going on? So We don't mind to break meat down, but you're running when you see a complex concept. So trying to meditate and trying to observe is part of life. So this is how to make good use of information. You have to calm down, sit down, try to draw the juice, try to understand what the information is about. This is one of the processes of life. All right. So we have followed us to this point. You've done a good job. This is Kingdom Mental Shift. If you're just joining us for the first time, and we're learning about digestive system model of life. We're just, and if you're here with us for the first time, please ensure you like the video so that the YouTube algorithm can suggest it to more people who wants to learn. And you know, you can subscribe and also hit the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever we come online. All right, we're moving to the next process. We've talked about three processes. We've talked about ingestion, we've talked about proportion, we've talked about mechanical and chemical, digestion. Now, the next process is absorption. Absorption. Absorption is a process of moving nutrients, water, and electrolytes from the digested food into the small intestine, in the small intestine into the bloodstream or lymph. That is, the food is digested through the process of absorbing the nutrient from the food is what we are talking about. That is what absorption is all about. So after something digested, you absorb the nutrient. So it's part of the processes of life. So in life, absorption suggests that you can make use of information and knowledge to your own advantage. You can make use of information and knowledge to your own advantage. So, having ingested information, you have ingested information uh, and mechanically broken it down. The complex one, you broke it down, you ingested, you moved it in, that's you filtered it, right? And then you mechanically broke it down. You can now make use of the knowledge. This is what makes people wise in life. This is why it looks like some people are better than the other, because people make use of the knowledge and the information they have better than the others. Some people just hear information and then just brush it aside. Of course, like I said, not all information are useful, but then the useful ones, some people see useful information and just brush it aside. Why some people make use of information, they draw the juice, they absorb the nutrient out of the information. So even the Bible recorded that wisdom is profitable to direct. So just having knowledge is not enough. Having knowledge is not enough. It must be applied so that it can benefit you. Having knowledge is not enough. It must be applied so that it can benefit you. What you're using, what are you using the knowledge you have to do? That's a question I'm meaning to ask us. What are you using the knowledge you have to do? Trust me, some people do not know up to what you know, and they're making the best out of life. Some people have never stepped into a school before, and life is good for them because they are making use of the information they have with all the barriers and everything that is going on, yet they are making good use of information. So, as young people, you need to understand that we need to make use of information. Do not just sit down and do nothing with what you know. Don't just sit down and do nothing with what you know. Convert your knowledge to a profitable venture. Don't just sit down and say, oh, things will work out. You need to make use of things so that it can work out. Imagine just having a microphone. You know the microphone will amplify your voice. You're in the midst of a crowd, but you're not engaging the microphone. You will just keep screaming. So that's the same way you need to convert the knowledge you know. Since you know that microphone will make your voice louder, you need to pick up the microphone and use it. You need to engage the knowledge that you have. So you need to convert your knowledge to a profitable venture. A doctor uses his medical knowledge, that he got from school to live. He uses to survive. When you have issues, you complain to him. He can diagnose what is, happening to you, even sometimes without even taking you through a scan or MRI. So you need to understand this is how life is. An accountant does the same thing. It helps you break down all the expenses so that you can track your spending, expenditures, and income. This is what people do. People use the knowledge they have to survive. You also need to survive. Do not waste the knowledge or information you have. Put it to good use. Do not waste the knowledge and information you have. Put it to good use. All right. So if you have been following me, you can type that. Do not waste knowledge and information you have. You can type it. Type do not waste the knowledge and information you have. You can type it in the comment section so that I can know you're following me. So that is the fourth um, process in the digestive system model of life. You need to make use of the information that you have. You need to absorb information. All right. So we're going right to the last point. If you are just joining us, this is Kingdom Mental Shift. And if you're new to the page, you can hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell, and also like the video so that the YouTube algorithm can suggest it to more people. Thank you and you're welcome. If you're just joining us, you can write your name and where you're watching from. All right. We don't want the video to be too long for people that want to watch later. Let's quickly move to the final point, which is number 5, the digestive model system of life. The fifth point is defecation. Defecation. Remember, like I said in the introduction, I said that the digestion will not be complete without defecation. Anybody who just eats and not defecate is going to run into some problem. So this is the final step. Defecation means removing indigestible substance from the body in the form of feces. So that's the biological point of view. It's not digestible, it's not useful for you. So remove it. So through feces, which is going to finally get useful to others. It get passed into the ground, it nourishes the ground. So this is the need to give back to others in life. Defecation suggests that you have to give back to others, not just defecation, what of farting. Farting also, you release back to the atmosphere. So this is this suggests that you need to give back to life. Have you ever imagined a person who eats and eats and eats and eats but never defecates? That is obviously a medical condition, and the person will in no time start to develop health challenges, starting from constipation because everywhere is just blocked, to all kinds of medical terminology. So to in life, as much as it lies within you, you've learned, you've ingested information. After ingesting, you've moved it. You see that it's good. You filtered it. It's a good one. You've broken down the hard ones, and then you've drawn, the nutrients. You're doing well in life. One thing you should not fail to do is defecate. You need to push it out so that others can also benefit. You need to give back to others. You need to give back to others. Teach someone what you know. Teach someone what you know. So that's what defecation suggests. Teach someone what you know. Educate a young person. Educate a younger person about a particular concept. All right. You have to teach, even if it's going to be for a fee. It doesn't matter. Just teach. Just give back. Okay, give back. Out of the money you have made, support others, other people too. You can support other people, through the money that you have made. So, a life that cannot reach out to others is not truly rich. That's just the reality of life. A life that cannot reach out to others is not a rich life. You cannot claim being wealthy when you are not reaching out to others. What makes people wealthy or rich is their ability to reach out. what makes people rich is the ability to reach out. So you will hardly see a wealthy person, let's say a billionaire, according to the Forbes, you know, who has not set up a system to benefit others. I remember Bill Gates sometime sponsored, anti-malaria vaccines. They've made the best of life, they've gotten from life, now they are giving back to life. This is how it is supposed to be. This is what the final step of the digestive system model suggests. So you need to set up a system to give back to life. You need to benefit somebody. This is truly the final stage of the digestive model. This is truly the final stage. If you have done all other stages from 1 to 4, but you did not do number 5, you have not completed the circle. So some of us might have not gotten to the point where we want to start this defecation process. Uh, some of us in the next couple of years will start this process. You'd be opportune to be able to start this process. Please don't hesitate to, give back to life. It is very, very important. So that is the final, stage of the digestive system model. I know that for those of us that have been following from the scratch, of course, you understand what we're talking about very vividly. We've talked about the first process, which is ingestion, which suggests that you have to take in knowledge. We talked about proportion, which suggests that you have to filter the knowledge. We've talked about mechanical, chemical digestion, which suggests that you have to break down difficult or similar ambiguous information. And then we're talking about absorption, which suggests that you have to make use of the information that you have. And then finally, we're talking about defecation, which suggests that you have to give back to the world, give back to others. All right, so that is it for today. In conclusion, life as young people, we need to understand the digestive system model of life. It will help us not to just become useful to ourselves, but to live a life that benefits other people also. When you take in information, you do what? You filter it, you digest it properly, and then you draw the juice to your advantage, and then you give back to others. Sometimes in life, it is the people you give back to that comes back to carry you when you are old. It is the people you give back. That's why when a man gives back to children, he starts giving to them, he starts nurturing them. That is a way to also give back to life, because you are giving back to a new life. So you're giving back to that boy, and then when you are old, the boy you give back to will most likely take care of you, or most likely benefit you in some way, or one way or the other. So that is how it is in life. So it is the people that you give to sometimes that comes to help you later in life, because we cannot all be sharp 100% in life. Sometimes you just get to a point where you just need somebody else to help you out in life. So this is it. We need to understand that uh, this digestive system model of life is something that we should use. Digestive model of life has taught us a lot of things, and we have to use you have to use them. So stay humble and be wise. Stay humble and be wise. Stay humble and be wise. So if you have followed us to this point, thank you so much for listening. Uh, you can write in the comment section the 5 digestive model that we have talked about. Those 5 processes, you can write in the comment section so that you can get a feedback, and then you can also let me know what you've learned in the course of the program. You can also drop comments and questions. If you have questions, you can put in the comment section. If you are on the WhatsApp group, you can drop in the WhatsApp group, or you can just drop it here. And if you also feel like you want to join the WhatsApp group, you can let us know. Can give you the link. So if you are blessed, just let me know in the comment section. I'm blessed. Just type I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. And trust me, I'm blessed also. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. This will be where we'll be, ending the topic. We are really, really blessed. Thank you so much for listening. Let's have a wonderful time.